So full time in Thurles, Waterford 420, Cork 123. Waterford win their first league title since 2015. A huge, huge moment for Waterford, and look, well deserved. Obviously those two goals were absolutely decisive in the end. A huge, huge win for Waterford, winning their first league title since 2015. And yeah, those two goals were absolutely crucial in the first half. The back-to-back goals really just changed the way the game was going, because up until then it was really even. Both sides were trading score from score. I think it took a bit of time really for either side really to settle into the game. I'm not too sure if Cork ever really settled into the game at all, if I'm being perfectly honest. Had a few good moments in the second half, and they brought the score back to 4 to 5 points. And even though it finished as a 6-point game, I think this was very, very comfortable from Waterford, and they probably could have even won this by more, in all honesty. But yeah, like as I was saying, the two goals, Patrick Curran and Stephen Bennett in the first half, two massive, massive goals in the first half, both one after the other, just really took the stuffing out of Cork in the end. And going back to the start though, first of all, I mean, as I said, like, Waterford had started a little bit brighter. They hit a couple of points early on from Catterick Daly and Jack Prendergast, Patrick Horgan and Conor Lahan with the opening two scores for Cork in the game. But Waterford settled into the game very nicely. They were winning a lot of ball in around the middle. I thought Caleb Lyons had a very impressive game. Catterick Daly as well from that wing-back position was absolutely excellent. He really, I suppose, played his part in getting forward. And you're seeing quite a lot. We said in the preview of Waterford how good they are at getting these wing-backs forward, the overlapping runs from midfielders. And you really feel like if Waterford had an Austin Gleeson out there on the pitch, they might have even had more goals today. They were really, really dominant in around the middle, and they were opening up Cork time and time again. And Cork's defending definitely coming under massive, massive question, no doubt about it. And in particular with Cork, I just thought they were a little bit sloppy at times in the first half, and really struggled to get into the game. Just a few sloppy passes here and there, giving away possession a little bit too easily. They were allowing Waterford to dictate the play too much in the game, I felt. And Waterford just had a run on them, and you were getting men in behind, Patrick Curran, Stephen Bennett, these kind of lads that were just causing all sorts of havoc for that Cork defence, and they really, really were struggling with it completely. And once Waterford got those two goals, they built up a bit of a lead. They were able to chip away a few more scores from the likes of Stephen Bennett and Patrick Curran as well. And then Cork were chasing the game, and going into the second half, they were chasing it. And it was always going to be really tough to see them come back into it and turn it around. And, the disappointing thing, I think, in my opinion, from a Cork point of view, was there was just no real goal chances or cutting edge up front. I know they got that goal at the end, but that's very much a consolation goal. The game is pretty much done at that point. It was pretty much the last bit of action in the entire game. But other than that, they just didn't really get enough going forward. Conor Lahan hit 2 points before he went off in the 47th minute. Patrick Horgan hit 10, but generally speaking, they just didn't really create enough. And Dara Fitzgibbon, we've seen some of the forward runs he was making last week against Kilkenny, and the big decisive goal he got when he scored 1-3 in total. But just a point from him in this game, and it just wasn't quite there from Cork. And you'd worry a bit for Cork at times. They got an absolute pasting in the All-Ireland final to Limerick last year. It's another pasting in this game as well, let's be perfectly honest. I know this finished as a 6-point game, but the score flattered Cork there a little bit, in my opinion. I thought they were absolutely ragged all the time at times in this game. I mean, Waterford were very, very comfortable and cut them open, like you're cutting your slice of toast in the morning. Like, let's be honest here, it was far too easy for Waterford. It really, really was. And in the second half, they could have even had more goals. I mean, they had one goal disallowed, and I don't even know what it was for. It looked like the referee didn't play advantage and called it back for a free. I don't really know what was going on there. Be interested to see what happened there. But Stephen Bennett was electrifying as well. I mean, 2-11 in the game. Absolutely extraordinary. Déise Hutchinson actually had a very quiet game by his standards, but he still got a goal towards the end of the game as well. Just to really put the icing on the cake from a Waterford point of view. and certainly for Cork, a lot to work on, no doubt about it. I mean, they might look at it and think, and maybe Cork fans might say, look, it is a league final. It isn't the be-all and end-all. The big priority is the All-Ireland. And I would agree, and that's probably one thing you would say from a Cork point of view is the All-Ireland is the main focus. You've obviously got Limerick coming up, I think, first of all, in the round robin, which will be a huge game. I believe Kiley and Connacht are actually at this game as well. So no doubt they would have been doing their homework on this Cork team. Few comments coming in there. Oral Ali says defence embarrassing, and Porter says I worry for Tip. I'm not too. Yeah, I mean it's a conversation for another day. But you would look at Tipperary and think, how are they getting out of that round robin? I understand what you mean, but yeah, defence embarrassing. It just was. Yeah, Cork were just all over the place. And that has maybe been the worry for Cork. Like I've seen Kilkenny get a couple of chances against them. It is worth noting as well, though, that Waterford's attack is brilliant. That's 22 goals now in 7 games. I mean, that is unbelievable stuff, really. I mean, they're scoring more goals nearly than some teams would score points. I mean, it's actually, it's almost ridiculous at this stage, like 22 goals in 7 games. I mean, that is... that's over 3 goals per game on average. Like, that is very, very impressive stuff from a Waterford point of view. And I really do believe that they really could catch Limerick this year. I think a lot will depend on Limerick, where are they at. We can't really judge them too much on the league because they were terrible in the league last year and then went on to win the All-Ireland in comprehensive fashion. So it's a really hard one to know with Limerick where they're at. But if Limerick aren't at it this year, if they aren't at the races, if they're going to get caught, if they take their eye off the ball, I feel like Waterford is the team that could beat them. I really, really do, because I felt like Waterford gave them a bit of a run for their money last year as well in the All-Ireland semi-final, more so than Cork did. So I feel like Waterford have got a big opportunity, but a lot will depend on Limerick, because if Limerick are at their absolute best this year, I don't see anyone beating them. So there's a lot of if, buts, and maybes there, but I think Waterford, are as good as anyone, really, you could say there. But yeah, Model says, when is the final? I presume you mean the All-Ireland final. I think the All-Ireland final is in July, I think. This was the league final here, but the All-Ireland final is in July, I believe. But as I was saying there, Jack Prendergast, 3 points. He was brilliant. Patrick Curran with 1-3. Michael Kiley was very impressive. I think Michael Kiley might have got the goal actually here. I'm just looking at the scores on the Scorebio app. Maybe that was a mistake there. But, DJ Foran came off the bench and got a point as well. I think Waterford just brilliant at getting forward. Like, the way they cut open teams is just brilliant. It really, really is. Absolutely brilliant from a Waterford point of view. And I think from a Cork point of view, as I said, they were sloppy in the first half. Didn't really get going. Didn't really get up to shape. Is it because it's the league final? I don't know. But Waterford are coming into that round robin in brilliant, brilliant form. And, I will do an All-Ireland hurling predictions at some stage. So I don't want to give away who I think will be in that in those round robin positions. But you would have to look at Waterford as definitely a team that's going to be in there. And I think maybe for Waterford, a big thing for them this year would be to win a Munster title or something like that. But they are getting silverware. Like, Ballygunner obviously won the All-Ireland Club Hurling Championship. Now they've won a league as well. Those lads are getting used to tasting success, and that might just stand to them a little bit maybe further in the year. It might just give them maybe that extra bit of confidence that they wouldn't have had in previous years. Vince says, I think it'll be Waterford. Waterford's year this year. And Porter says they attack in waves. They do. They just, there's like 4 or 5 players getting forward. And it's a nightmare to defend. I'm not too sure if you can defend it, really. The only team I have seen doing a job at defending Limerick like that or defending Waterford like that is Limerick, to be fair, who have done a brilliant job, I think, on Waterford in previous years. But Waterford's attack looks like it's improved even more this year. Like, 22 goals in 7 games is incredible. Dylan says maybe the end of Waterford's 7-year famine. My voice is going there. But yeah, it very much could be. You know, this is definitely their best team. I think in my lifetime, anyway. I don't know if they've had a brilliant team in the 70s or 60s or 80s or anything like that. But in my lifetime, anyway, this might be their best team and even better than the John Milan team and all the rest. I feel like this Waterford team is better. And look, you know, can they win a Munster title? Can they win an All Ireland? They're going to be close. They're going to be close. Model says, "Who do you support?" I'm a Dublin man, so enough said about Dublin at the minute. But yeah. But brilliant win for Waterford nonetheless, and they march on their first league title since 2015. So yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up here. If you could leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, very much appreciated. There'll be more reactions out for tomorrow's game, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, my name's Aaron, and I'll see you all in the next one.